So you're getting really off track, right? So you're putting the focus on the thing, which is the policy. And the focus needs to be on the outcome, which is, what is this policy providing?
Okay.
So your focus is so like business. Did you actually speak to an agent? Did someone come to your home? What type of policy was it? Like you're getting almost defensive because she's telling you that she wants to go with Mutual of Omaha. But in reality, for her, it's just a defense mechanism, right? Like, you're not going to sell me, right? And you're feeding right into that. Right. So instead, I just ignore that kind of stuff. None of that stuff matters. It's okay. That's not a problem.
Really?
So you mentioned earlier, you don't want to burden your kids with having any final expenses to come out of their own pocket. I'm just curious, like, why is that important to you?
She cut me off right after that. I think I gave her too much space before I asked why though. And I noticed I was like, I got left with that in my mouth rather than letting it out.
I wouldn't have asked any of the questions you were asking, right? Like, we have a limited opportunity to ask questions before they start getting annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
And the types of questions you have to ask have to be all about them. And you can't put them in an uncomfortable position where they may not even know the answers. Right? What type of policy was it? And did you who'd you speak to? And like, those are all very uncomfortable, awkward questions, and it makes you look bad.
I was literally thinking of like douchebag questions when somebody's trying to make you feel like you don't know. And that's what we're taught over there. You know what I mean? But that's why I'm like, I need to learn this type of training. So I appreciate the feedback so far, honestly.
Yeah. So you have to, anytime you get hit with something that makes you feel a little awkward, like, I just go with Mutual of Omaha, you just brush it off. Okay, yeah, that's not a problem. It's good for you to look at lots of options. Tell me, have you thought about whether or not you want to have a traditional burial or a direct cremation instead? Okay, that's awesome. Can you tell me more about that choice? And you just keep asking the questions and keep the focus on her. The more information you get from her about what she wants for herself and her final wishes and her kids, the more relevant you're going to become. Right? But right now you're like playing this ping pong game between Lincoln and Mutual and like numbers and cents, and you're not getting down to the root of the issue. Let's keep listening.
To an agent over the phone or in your home, or
yeah,
it was just all.
An agent called me, and she constantly stayed on the phone with me every day, about this Omaha thing. Well, she went through several insurances for me, and Omaha was the last one that, other ones wanted me too, but I didn't want it, because of the how much they wanted a month, so Omaha seems to be okay. But like I said, I have to go over the paperwork. I haven't yet because I've been doing other things.
Yeah, and when you do go over the paperwork, Linda, do you know exactly what you're looking for in order to understand what it's actually going to look like for your family once they actually?
Tell me why that's a dumb question.
Because she has no clue what she's looking for.
No. So you're asking another question that you're purposely trying to make her feel stupid, right?
My perspective was to create doubt. That way, when
okay, wait, pause.
Yeah.
So I know the intent, but you're doing it at the wrong time, right? Like, you haven't earned her trust yet. So to create doubt at this point is going to put her on the defense, right? You haven't asked her anything about her. All you're doing is trying to play this like game of trying to say, well, you need an expert to help you walk her through it. Well, guess what? She has the lady from the broker who's looked at all these other policies that's going to help her understand it, because she's been talking to her every day.
Right.
So why would she talk to you if she could talk to her?
Right.
right? So she has someone to walk her through it, who she already has somewhat of a relationship with.
Right.
So all of these questions, you can't ask that until they've like are leaning into you with the information you have to say. So you have to act very interested in their situation, what they want, you know, what will happen to their kids. Like it has to be all about them. I don't care at all about this Mutual of Omaha conversation policy, not one bit. I don't care. Right? I'm going to make it all about her, and I'm going to ask clarifying questions that relate to her situation. And I'm going to make it seem like my only interest is to help her solve her problems. Okay. And then I'm going to recap all of that. And I'm going to say, hey, does it sound like I got it right? And whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But I would have asked her a lot more questions just about her, not about Mutual of Omaha. Now you're just putting all the attention on them.
I did. You're right.
Right? Like that's not what we're trying to do. So then when we say, now I know you've been talking to this woman, you know, who's offered you several policies. I think you did this here because I think I popped in at one point. Did she help you understand the difference between term and whole life and what the best way to go would be? And did you ask that?
Yeah.
And so we'll listen to that and see how that went.
Yeah.
But only after I got to know my customer, I gave her a little bit of education. Then at that point, it would have been now. I know things can be really overwhelming, and I know it's probably hard to make a choice because you don't want to make the wrong choice. Who do you have that will help you understand all the options that you have? So that way, when you make this final choice, it's the last one you have to make. Right? Not, do you even know what you're looking at? Right?
You know what? I'm really enjoying these trainings right here, these coachings.
Because yeah, you're creating so much sales pressure and sales resistance in this first 8 minutes. It's crazy.
Oh shit. Okay. God.
What it's actually going to look like for your family once they actually need to make that happen and get that plan paid out.
Yeah, how much I have to bury me and what's left over, you know, what will be left over, you know.
Were they able to send you some quotes already, or what's the paperwork that you're looking at still, you know, going through?
No, I haven't really. I haven't gone really over the whole thing yet, you know, because like I said, I got many bills that I'm dealing with right now, you know. So, and I just lost my mother, so I'm dealing with a lot right now, you know.
Gotcha. Now, how important is it for you to actually get something in place?
Okay, you made another mistake there. She just told you something really important and you just ignored it. Right? You're still making it about you, right? Now you want to know how important it is for her to put something in place so you can hold her accountable to that. Right? You're asking way too many like of those types of questions here without just getting to know your client, right? You haven't earned the right to ask any of these questions yet. How important is it to you? Who do you think you are? Right? No, not good. Not good. Here it needs to be, I'm so sorry you just lost your mom. Was it sudden or was she sick for a while? Did your mom have a life insurance policy? What was that experience like?
Yeah.
Did you have to raise money, do a GoFundMe? Who paid for it? Right? You have to bring her there because when she says things like, if I die, I die, now you don't have, there's no emotion.
Right.
To bring back to. Like you missed out on a big opportunity here to talk about what that was like when her mom died. Have you ever lost anyone?
Me personally? Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Who?
My uncle.
Were you really close to your uncle?
Yeah.
Like a dad to you?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So how long ago was that?
December of 21. So a little over a year ago.
So I just want you to think about for a second if you were inquiring about life insurance, like you're not in the position that you are, you just lost your uncle, you don't know anything about this, and you get on the phone with yourself, you're the sales agent, and you're also your customer.
Oh man.
And you're like, yeah, I don't have a lot of time to do this. People say they don't have time, by the way, because they're overwhelmed and they don't want to make the time to do it because they're afraid of making the wrong choice. And they also are, money is also an issue, but we didn't approach that the wrong way. So, you're on the phone with yourself, you're the agent and the customer. And you're like, yeah, I don't know, my uncle just died and, it's just a lot going on. And you're like, well, let me ask you, how important is it for you to put something in place and get this taken care of right away? Like,
you sound mean. My tone wasn't like that, but I definitely, I'm
trying to make a point.
The point is for sure. As soon as you went there, I was like, that's definitely, I should not have done that.
Like,
yeah.
There's nothing we're at 8 minutes and 49 seconds right now. There's nothing that you've done or said or asked that has made me think that you actually care about her, right? It's all about, if I could, would you? All of your questions have been in that format. Like, how important is it to do this today? If I could do it, would you? Like, all of these things, like, those are appropriate sometimes, but never in the discovery.
Okay.
Right? Never at this point. Right now, we're just trying to figure out their why.